Mindset 101. Happy Sunday, my mentally fit tribe. And I am happy that we are able to be here for another Sunday, for another word of encouragement for this week. So the scripture for this week comes to us from Matthew 7 and verse 12, and it reads thus: "So in everything, do to others what you would have them do to you, for this sums up the law and the prophets." All right, so Matthew 7:12, "So in everything, do to others what you would have them do to you, for this sums up the law and the prophets." And I want to thank my brother for bringing this scripture to the fore last night in a conversation. Once he brought it up, it immediately clicked and, reminded me of really and truly how we ought to operate daily, in our daily lives, in our going out, our coming ins, how we're supposed to operate. And think about it. If it is that I do to you what I would want you to do to me, if it is that is at the core of everything that we do, then some of the issues and the problems that we have, no, we probably wouldn't. Because if it is that I know I don't like something for myself, right, then I'm not going to do it to somebody else, right? And if it is that's the basis from which I am living daily, then guaranteed some of the problems we have, we wouldn't have. So think about it in a relationship, there are certain things that you probably don't like, right? Now, if it is that you don't like it for yourself, don't do it to somebody else. That's just plain and simple. So if it is that you don't like it for yourself and you do it to me, then you're opening up the door for me to do it back to you, right? And I wouldn't be wrong in doing it back to you either, because it does say, do unto others as you would have them do unto you, right? So whatever you don't like for yourself, don't do it to somebody else. That's just all the scripture is saying. Be mindful of the things that you're doing, and always keep in mind the fact that whatever you sow, you're going to reap. Whatever you do to me, there's a possibility of somebody else doing it to you. So I just want to encourage us all for this week to be reminded of what has been dubbed the golden rule in the Bible. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Try and use this as a benchmark as to how you operate in your daily lives. Think about sometimes, the responses that we get from persons, and sometimes we are tempted to respond in a similar fashion, based on how they might come at us, and sometimes the things that they might do, we might be tempted to respond in a similar fashion. But also we have to be reminded that those who know better, you have to do better. You're being held at a higher standard, so you can't just go about and do as you see others doing in that regard. But I'm just encouraging you all to be mindful of how you treat people. Whether in friendships, in relationships, just be mindful that just as how you have feelings, the other person has feelings too. Just as how things hurt you, they hurt the other person too. And if you're doing something, think about, would I want somebody to be doing this to me? And if it is that your response to that question is no, it simply means that you're not supposed to be doing it to the other person either. If it is that you wouldn't want for somebody to do that to you, it means that you should not be doing it to anybody either. It is as simple as that. And sometimes we find ourselves in these situations, persons who, for whatever reason or another, they do some things that, there are some hurtful things. And whenever you respond or react, in like manner, then, all of a sudden you become the bad person. So in order to, erase all of this, just be reminded of the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. So if it is that you don't want me doing something to you, don't do it to me. It is as simple as that. And if it is that we use this as a foundation for how we operate daily, I can guarantee you that we, in terms of our relationships, in terms of our friendships, in terms of our daily interactions with persons, that whether it's at work, church, wherever it is, I can guarantee you that you'll see an improvement in those relationships, because you'll be treating others as how you want to be treated. So by doing that, it will take out some of the issues that we experience in day-to-day life, especially in the relationships. It will remove some of the issues that we experience in relationships. So I'm encouraging you for this week. Remind yourselves of the golden rule as stated in Matthew 7:12. So in everything, do to others what you would have them do to you, for this sums up the law and the prophets. So for this week, put that at the forefront. If it is that you're going to do something, test the spirit first. Go and see if it is that it's coming from the right place. Think about how you would feel if whatever it is you're going to say and do, if it was done to you. Use that as a benchmark. If it is that you ask yourself that question and you recognize it's not something that you'd want done to you, then refrain from doing it to somebody else. Let us try and be our brother's keeper. Let us try and, be light. Wherever we go, let's try to be light. Let us try to make the persons who we interact with, who we are friends with, who we are in relationships with, let us try to make their lives easier. I have this thing that I always say: life is easy, people make it hard. And when you think about it, it's not life that is difficult. Sometimes it's the people that we have in our lives and the things that they do and the problems that they create at times. And so if it is that we're doing as the Bible has instructed us to do, and that is to do unto others as we would have them do unto us, then we'll treat people differently. We'll treat them better, because we're going to treat them as how we would treat ourselves. So for this week, I'm encouraging you guys to do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Go back to the golden rule. Be your brother's keeper. Test the spirit, test the words that you're going to speak, and think of whether it's going to edify or it's going to hurt that person, before you proceed to deliver whatever it is that you're about to deliver to that person. So I'm just encouraging you all to hold yourselves accountable this week and to ensure that you're doing what you would have want done to you, that you're treating people how you would want them to treat you. So I'm tasking you this week, I'm challenging you this week to do unto others as you would have them do unto you, to treat people how you want to be treated, to be a brother's keeper. So have a blessed week, my Mentally Fit Tribe. Until next week.